Hi everyone, my name is David, and as part of Asexual Awareness Week, I wanted to talk about a topic that's closely linked to my experiences, namely what coming out as asexual in a conservative environment is like. Many of us asexuals, both out and still in the closet, live in places that are socially conservative, and this is meant to address those of you who might be in that situation and are wondering how to either come out proudly or live your identity. Obviously, I'm not an expert on this. I can only talk about my own experiences and hope that it helps some of you out there who might be in the same boat as me. So I grew up in Arizona, which is a moderately conservative state here in the US, and now I live in a state that is even more conservative than that. In addition, I was raised in a very religious, conservative environment. There was no asexual representation whatsoever as I was growing up. In fact, the very first time I heard the term asexuality, it was in the context of someone telling me that it did not exist. Even when I learned about asexuality and came out to myself, which actually was exactly 10 years ago, I approached it with a great deal of skepticism, and that came from my upbringing. Any kind of lifestyle other than a wife and two kids with a white picket fence and church every Sunday was viewed not with hatred, but with deep distrust. So it took me a while to accept that asexuality was valid and that it matched my own experiences. When I came out to my parents, they were primarily confused as they didn't know anything about it. So I had to essentially be their teacher. Once I explained everything to them, ad nauseum, I might add, they were actually very accepting of it and still are because, and here's unfortunately where the conservative part comes in, at least I wouldn't be living a sinful lifestyle. For those of you coming out to religious parents or family members, there actually are a couple of Bible verses that support asexuality, such as Matthew 19:12 or in 1 Corinthians 1, and I would encourage you to use those as a resource if needed. Unfortunately, and again, this is a byproduct of their conservative beliefs, I feel unable to disclose to them my romantic orientation. I identify as homoromantic, and even though I know my parents will always love me and be proud of me, this is not something I will probably ever feel comfortable sharing with them, though I have hinted at it as much as I can. In this kind of environment, though, simply having them accept my asexuality was a win. So what's the bottom line here? Well, if you find yourself surrounded by conservative people and worry about them accepting you, you'll have to deal with a lot of confusion. But there are scripture verses you can use to support yourself when talking to them, and that can help. Romantic orientations might need to be kept out of the picture for the time being or approached on a case-by-case basis. Regardless, there will be communities everywhere that can support you, even in the most conservative places out there. So look for them and don't lose hope. And of course, as always, only come out when you feel comfortable and ready to do so. That's about all I have to say. I hope this can help some of you out there, and I hope you all have a great Asexual Awareness Week.